So the film begins with Valerie, who is a very good motivational speaker and is famous all over the world. Everyone gets hope from her words, but no one knows what problems she is going through. Every night she gets scary dreams as if someone is pulling her into the water. She has not understood the reason for all this till date. Well, after this, we come to know about Valerie's family, that her mother died years ago. There is no information about her father, and Ruby is her husband, who loves her very much. Today, a letter came for her from her village. On seeing it, her mood got off and her sadness increased. She decided to meet her friend, but this also did not make much difference to her mood. She was noticing strange changes in herself for quite some time, like she started having a lot of itching in her head. At this time, she was also seen taking birth control pills along with medicine to reduce her itching. Well, today, even after taking medicine, when her itching did not reduce, she got worried and started searching about her itching on the internet, and seeing the results, she got very scared and she closed her laptop. Now, another very strange thing happened with Valerie. There were a lot of ants in her house. Valerie had no idea from where they came and where they were going. While following these ants, Valerie saw a whole house made of ants inside her house. When she peeped inside, she found a lot of ants inside, which she got scared. The next day is shown that Valerie had to go for an international tour, for which she needed a birth certificate. She looked in her documents and she did not have a birth certificate. Maybe it was with her mother, for which she went to her aunt. Actually, she had to ask her aunt about the box which her mother had given to her. Her aunt told her the address of a locker where that box was kept. When she went to the locker, Valerie and her aunt saw that the box was missing. Both of them got worried. Then Valerie's aunt said that maybe your dad came here and took that box. This can also happen. Now Valerie comes home, and even today her head was itching so much that she was scratching her head with both hands like a mad person. Her husband, sitting next to her, also found this habit of hers very strange. Valerie and even the doctors could not understand her illness, so she thought that maybe she had this genetic issue. Her mother must have it too, and now she has it. Currently, she had to focus on her international tour. That is why she went to meet her dad. Before leaving, she decided to wear a cap on her head so that she could show off her pride in front of people. Valerie comes to the village and meets her father, who was earlier a soldier but had now become a monk. Valerie asks him about the box. Her father said, "No, I don't know anything about it." There was also a very strange painting in her dad's room. When Valerie asked about the painting, her dad started telling her the story of an entity named Sanchi. Actually, Sanchi was a parasite who lived with humans and fed on their spiritual power. Sanchi stays with the person it possesses until it kills him completely. Well, Valerie had not come here to get information about all these things. Before leaving, she steals the key to her dad's locker. Without asking him, she did not find the box which her mother had left for her, but yes, she found her birth certificate, with which she started to leave from there. She heard the sound of a small child crying in "goddamn," and she felt as if the child was drowning in the water. She followed the sound and reached a storeroom. Many ants were also going inside the storeroom. She sat down and tried to see them. Then she felt as if many evil souls were going to catch her from behind. She felt many hands on her shoulder. Before she could scream, she looked back and saw that he was the guard here. That is, she had hallucinations this time. Valerie was very confused after coming home. What happened to her today had never happened before. She started looking at the stuff she had brought from her dad's locker. It contained old pictures of her family, her dad's and her mom's pictures from the time when her dad was a soldier, and her mom was a very beautiful woman. While looking at all this, Valerie realized that she still did not know how her mom died. In these pictures, Valerie notices a similar allergy mark on her mom's hand, which she had seen on the internet while searching for her allergy. From here, she got confirmed that the disease she is suffering from today was also suffered by her mom earlier, and it is related to her mom. Valerie's disease had made her very irritable, so much so that she even started arguing her husband Ruby. She did not behave well. She was very irritable. Today she had decided that she will not sleep tonight, so she wears gloves on her hands and ties her hands. In the morning, her eyes opened with a very bad shock. She saw that now there were no gloves on her hands, and she had scratched her head and injured her scalp so much that a lot of blood was coming out of it. Seeing this, she got scared. She takes this picture of her mom to her aunt, in which her allergy was shown. Seeing this, auntie gets sad and tells Valerie that your mom probably had some debt or a curse due to which she died. I tried a lot to save her, but it was of no use. Valerie asked what Dad did about all this. She did not tell her anything about Dad. He just said that you should stay away from your dad. After some time, Valerie came back home. She had to go for a photo shoot where, with the heavy lights casting their shadows, she sees that there is someone else standing with the shadow. Seeing which, she got very scared, but she did not let anyone express her feelings here. Now she came home, and even after coming home, she was scratching her head. She scratched her head so much that blood came out, and Robin also noticed this blood. She lied to Robin that there is nothing like that. Valerie makes some excuse about this injury, and as soon as she opens the medicine drawer, her husband sees her birth control pills there. On seeing this, a fight started between him and Ruby. Valerie was also angry. She was struggling with herself. In such a situation, she told Ruby that it is better that you stay away from her, and in this way, there was a rift in their relationship. Valerie was now living alone in her room. She had now decided that she will not scratch her head every night, so she slept with her hands tied at night. But when she woke up in the morning, she was worried because her hands were open, and she drew blood from her scalp even today. She now understood that whatever was happening to her, some other entity was involved in it because she could not open her hands herself. It was confirmed that someone else had opened her hands at night. As soon as she wakes up, Valerie notices a lot of ants in her house again. She gets worried and follows these ants till their house. She wanted to see what these ants do. That is why she starts breaking the wall of her house, and then there is a knock on the door. She saw outside that her dad had come. Her dad was very worried for Valerie. He said that you were not picking my call, so I came here in trouble. He wanted to tell something to Valerie at this time. He starts talking to Valerie about her mom. He tells that Valerie, your mom was a very good person, and today I'll tell you how she died. Years ago, I was a soldier and I killed an enemy soldier. She was a girl. I don't know what power was inside her that after her death, she came inside me. And because of me, she got connected with your mom. I later came to know that she is a century, and when I came to know this, I tried a lot to free your mom from that century parasite, but I failed. Then you were born, and then that century parasite came inside you. And I know that a lot of strange things are happening with you these days, and that century is behind all of them. Valerie's dad knew that Valerie will react a lot after knowing all these things. That's why he mixed sleeping pills in her tea and brought it. Because of which Valerie fell asleep right there. And when she woke up, she immediately remembered all those things, and now she started searching about her mom's death. She found a lot of newspaper cuttings and things in her own house, in which it was clearly written that her dad had actually murdered her mom. Hearing this, she broke down. Suddenly, it started raining. When Valerie went upstairs to close the windows of her house, she saw her mother's shadow outside the window. She started seeing everything that happened on the day her mother died. She saw that her mother was in pain and her father was forcefully drowning her in water, and that is how her mother died. As soon as Valerie saw her father's dark face, she immediately went to her father to take revenge for her mother. She went to his house and scattered each and everything and asked her father, "Why did you kill my mother?" Her father said, "I did not kill your mother. I was saving her from that Sanshi, but that Sanshi was very strong and I kept losing. Your mother died while fighting with that Sanshi." But Valerie did not believe his words anymore. Dad told him that your mom actually wanted to save you from this Sanchi, and in this process, she took her own life. But even after dying, she failed in her purpose. She gave you to that Sanchi, and now that Sanchi is with you, and to save your life, it is very important that Sanchi is killed. Now these things started scaring Valerie. She left her dad here and went back home the next day. She had a seminar, the biggest seminar of her life, an international tour. She did not want to be made fun of in front of everyone. She scratched her head in front of everyone. That is why she wore a cap on her head. Her show started. There were many people here, and the rating was very high. She called a girl on the stage and started her speech. She made the girl stand in front of the mirror and told the people that until you do not recognize the real you, you cannot do anything while saying these things. He unwillingly got out of his cap, "Repair your hair from the inside." While she was scratching her head, she saw the shadow of the woman in the mirror while giving the speech. She saw another shadow standing behind her. She got scared seeing this shadow because she knew that it was Sancha. Today, after seeing her and knowing her truth, she was so scared that she fell down. She started writhing and scratching her head, and everyone went mad seeing her in this condition. Valerie did not want to make a spectacle of herself anymore. That is why she left the stage and ran away and sat in her car. Even after coming home, she was continuously scratching her head. She scratched her head so much that a hole was formed in her head, inside which she put her finger. Due to her finger touching her brain got damaged and she stopped understanding anything. She fell unconscious right there. At the mourner's house at this time, Robbie was there who helped her. Seeing her bad condition, she was taken to the hospital. Due to reaching the hospital on time, Valerie's life was saved, but Valerie was still in a big trouble. That Sanch was still with Valerie, who was shown clearly for the first time in the dark environment of the hospital. At this time, he was on top of Valerie and was troubling her. But at this time, Valerie was not afraid of him. She was not shouting. He was hitting Valerie's head with his hand, due to which her head was itching. But Valerie still did not itch her head because now she knows the truth. She is no longer afraid of it. She wants to fight it. As soon as Valerie started facing her fear, her condition started getting better than before. Shanxi's control over her started decreasing, and some credit for her improved condition also goes to Robbie, who was taking a lot of care of her these days. He was always stopping Valerie from touching his head, because due to hitting her head, many parts of her body had become paralyzed, even her legs, and now she was finding it very difficult to walk. She was learning to walk in a new way. Now, to prevent Valerie from scratching her head while sleeping, Robbie tied her hands, but when he woke up in the morning, he saw that her hands were free. Valerie had also scratched her head. She also had a scissor, seeing which Robbie thought that she had cut her hands herself. He got angry to see that Valerie did not want to get well herself, and he was making so much effort on her for no reason. Valerie tried to explain to him that she did not do all this. It was Sanchi who did it, but he was not ready to listen to her. Robbie left her in anger. Valerie was completely alone. She was losing hope. She needed someone's support. That's why she used to take her to watch motivational videos. She had decided that now she will fight that entity, Sanchi herself, so that all these issues can be resolved. At night, Robbie was put to sleep after being given anesthesia, and then she came to one of her rooms where there were many mirrors. As soon as she came here, she started shouting loudly, "Tell me, who are you? What do you want from me? Come in front of me." For a long time, no one came in front of her, but after some time, a scary hand came out of a mirror and caught Valerie from behind. This hand was actually of Sanchi, the entity which had finally come in front of her, and tells Valerie in her scary voice that, "I will not leave you." She had now caught Valerie and put a knife on her neck. Valerie also got scared and screamed loudly, due to which Robbie also regained consciousness and found himself tied to the bed. He tries to free his hands and legs and calls Valerie. On the other side, we are shown Valerie, who is now preparing to cut her hand so that she can never cut her head again. Unable to scratch, she made a path on her hand and placed it under a gutter. But how could a person cause so much pain to himself? She could not cut her hand even after trying hard many times. But then she gathers courage once and quickly comes in front of the machine, places her hand under the machine, and suddenly runs the cutter on it. Blood starts oozing out of her hand and falls on her face and her hand. This caused her a lot of pain. She was bleeding a lot, which she tried to control by tying things. After stopping the bleeding of this hand, she cleaned the blood from her mouth and decided that she will now tear off her other hand. Valerie was still thinking about this when suddenly Sanchi came behind her and caught her from behind. And this time Valerie was not even afraid of doing this. Sanchi tried to scare her that, "I will eat you, every drop of your blood. I will drink it." Valerie keeps him engaged in conversation and suddenly puts his hand under the same cutter with which she was planning to cut her other hand. Robbie was getting disturbed hearing such sounds coming from here. Here Valerie was in the mood to fight Sanchi completely. After cutting the hand, she picked up the machine itself and started attacking Sanchi with it. She thought that Sanchi would die by doing this, but it did not happen. All the parts of Sanji that she had cut started regenerating. They started growing again. And now when Valerie sees all this, she really gets scared and starts preparing to run away from here. She was trying to run away from there to save herself when Sanchi came over her and he said that now I will not leave you. Then Valerie told him that now no one will be spared. Saying this, he started dragging himself to the water. She took him inside the water, and he jumped into the water. As soon as Valerie jumped into the water, Sanchi also jumped into the water with her, but water was his biggest enemy. He started to writhe in the water, and Valerie tried to stop him by holding his hand. And today he understood why his mom had jumped into the water that day. She had jumped to kill Sanchi, and her dad was not involved in his mom's murder. While coming out, we were seeing a small black child in her hand. This was a small version of Sanchi, which meant that Sanchi had become weak now, and after keeping it in water for some time, it dissolves in the water and dies. In the post-credit scenes of the story, we are shown Valerie, who also had a baby. It was shown that her severed hand was repaired, and she was very happy with her baby. When she was feeding her son at that time, a small bug is shown on her son's face, which leaves a question for us whether Sanchi is really dead or not. And with this, the movie ends here. Thanks for watching.